Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. We now have a Discord. It's just getting started, but we have some future plans coming, like events for Discord members and Patreon members. Time to dive into the world of Fullmetal Alchemist for the ruler of Amestris, King Bradley, or his true name, Wrath. The human that was simply known as 12 was inducted into a savage and horrible program to create the perfect ruler and warrior, though this isn't exactly true. The program was to create a ruthless killer who would be completely obedient to Father, who would rule Amestris and guide it according to Father's agenda. As the program continued, the subjects killed one another until there was only a few left that were transformed into human homunculuses, killing all those too weak in the process. In the end, only one was left standing. Now given a name, well, two names actually, Bradley rose through the ranks, eventually becoming king. Unlike other homunculuses, Bradley is a human homunculus. He has no regenerative ability and is mortal, but his physical abilities are near perfection. He is also gifted with the power of the ultimate eye. This eye allows Bradley to see things very differently, and that's an understatement. Firstly, his visual senses are far more precise, allowing him to see and process things at a faster rate. Finally, he can see small moments in the future, granting him insight on how to counter any attack. Regardless of the full extent of its abilities, the ultimate eye means Bradley always has the upper hand. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and some more books for spells. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so if you use another system, keep an eye on the stat minimums. Make Dex 15, Charisma 14, Intelligence 13, Con 12, Strength 10, and we're going to be dumping Wisdom with an 8. I don't want to because your perception is insane, but this is what we have to work with. We'll do what we can to fix this later. Bradley is a human with major alterations. Resourceful grants you an inspiration dice at the end of a long rest if you don't already have one. Skillful grants you a free skill, Grab History. Versatile gives you a free origin feat for this feat. Lucky allows you to give yourself the upper hand. You have luck points that equal your proficiency bonus between long rests. When you make a d20 test, such as a skill check or attack roll, you can spend a luck point to give yourself advantage on the roll. Also, when you are attacked, you can spend a luck point to force the attacker to make the roll at disadvantage. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Charisma and +1 into Intelligence. For your origin feat, Alert enhances your awareness. You now gain a bonus to initiative equal to your proficiency bonus, and you can switch places in initiative order at the start of combat with a willing ally, if you and them are not incapacitated. For your skills, grab Deception and Persuasion. To finish out your background, take some proficiency in a toolkit of your choice, but I would go with Smith's tools to maintain your weapons. Level 1 fighters start off with 2 skills. Take Athletics and Acrobatics. You are proficient with all weapons, armor, shields, and the saving throws, Strength and Con. Fighting Style grants you a Fighting Style feat. For this feat, 2 weapon fighting allows you to add your damage modifier when you attack with a second weapon. Second Wind allows you to ignore damage with a bonus action by healing yourself 1d10 plus your fighter level. You can do this twice per long rest, but you get 1 use back when you finish a short rest. Weapon Mastery allows you to access the special properties of weapons you are proficient. At the end of a long rest, you choose the weapon mastery of 3 weapons, and now you can use them. For some weapon masteries you might use, Rapier and Short Sword give you Vex, which grants you advantage on your next attack before the end of your next turn to a creature you've hit with this weapon. Scimitar gives you Nick, which allow you to attack with a second like weapon as part of the same action. Level 1 wizards begin with spell casting. You start off with a spell book that contains 6 first level spells and 3 cantrips. At the end of a long rest, you can prepare a total number of spells as indicated on your wizard sheet. You can also record spells that you find, and you regain used spell slots at the end of a long rest. Ritual Adept allows you to cast spells with the ritual tag without having it prepared. Arcane Recovery allows you to recover used spell slots after a short rest. The number and level of spell slots is equal to half your wizard level, but can never be above 5th level. You can do this once per long rest. For your spells, Blade Ward makes anyone who attacks you subtract d4 from their attack for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. True Strike allows you to use your intelligence modifier for attack and damage for 1 weapon attack, and you can deal radiant damage instead of normal damage. This will get better pretty soon. Mage Armor allows you to focus for 8 hours. While not wearing armor, your AC becomes 13 plus your Dex modifier. Shield allows you to enhance your reflexes with a reaction and add +5 to your AC for 1 turn, and this will allow you to dodge out of the way of magic missile. Long Strider adds 10 feet to your total movement for 1 hour. Expeditious Retreat turns dash into a bonus action for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. Jump grants you a jump distance of 30 feet by spending 10 feet for 1 minute. Feather Fall slows your descent for 1 minute, and if you hit the ground while the spell is active, you take no fall damage. You get 1 more cantrip, have fun choosing. Level 2 fighters gain Action Surge. You can now give yourself 1 free action once per short or long rest, but this can't be to cast a spell. Tactical Mind lets you use Second Wind when you fail a skill check, adding the d10 to the roll. If you still fail, you don't lose the use of Second Wind. Level 2 wizards get Scholar. You have expertise in history, doubling your proficiency bonus to that skill. For your spells, False Life grants you temporary HP equal to 2d4 plus 4, and you can upcast this to gain more HP. Charmed Person lets you force a humanoid within 30 feet to make a wisdom save. If they fail, they are charmed and it is now friendly to you for 1 hour. If you are fighting it, it has advantage on the roll, and if you damage it, the spell ends. When the spell ends, the humanoid knows you charmed them. Level 3 wizards now have their subclass. Diviner from the player's handbook is going to keep giving you the upper hand. Divination Savant gives you 2 divination spells for free, and now each level after you get a divination spell of the current level that you can have for free. Portent gives you a small glimpse of the future. At the end of a long rest, you roll 2d20s and record the results. Until you finish your next long rest, you hold onto those results and you can exchange them for any d20 test, losing the held result. You also gain second level spells. For your free divination spells, Gift of Alacrity from Wildmount adds 1d8 to your initiative rolls for 8 hours. Detect Magic allows you to see magical energy within 30 feet for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. With an action, you can see what the school of the energy is from, but you can't identify it. For your new spells, Blur speeds up your body for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While active, all attacks against you are at disadvantage, though creatures with True Sight or Blind Sight ignore this. Dark Vision gets you Dark Vision out to 150 feet for 8 hours. You've reached character level 5, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. True Strike now deals an extra 1d6 radiant damage on a hit. Told you get better. Level 4 wizards earn our first ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Dual Wield adds +1 to Dex. You can now draw and stow 2 weapons at once if they lack the two-handed property, and you can now use a non-light weapon with a light weapon to 2-weapon fight as long as the weapon lacks the two-handed properties. Going to say this right now, I hate revised Dual Wield. It was better when it added +1 to AC when wielding 2 weapons, because that's actually the only reason to wield 2 weapons, at least in real life. There's no such thing as action economy in the real world. For your free divination spell, Fortune's Favor gives you a free luck. For 1 hour, you gain 1 free d20 that you can use when you take a d20 test or when a creature attacks you. When you use this d20, the spell ends, and this can be used if the original roll was at advantage or disadvantage. For your new spells, Magic Weapon adds +1 to your weapon's attack and damage for 1 hour if it is non-magical, but you can only cast this spell on 1 weapon at a time. Enhance Ability lets you choose 1 stat from Strength, Dex, and Wisdom, Intelligence, or Charisma. For 1 hour while you maintain the spell, you have advantage on all skill checks of that chosen stat. You get another cantrip at this level. You may want to take some ranged spells. Level 3 fighters now have access to their subclass. Battle Master from the player's handbook just makes you a better fighter. A way better fighter. Combat Superiority grants you 4d8s called Superiority Dice that you can spend on performing maneuvers. You regain all expended Superiority Dice at the end of a short or long rest. For your maneuvers, Evasive Footwork costs 1 Superiority Dice and allows you to take disadvantage as a bonus action, and then lets you roll the Superiority Dice and add it to your AC until the start of your next turn. Ambush costs 1 superiority dice, and now you can roll the superiority dice and add it to an initiative roll or stealth check. Parry is a reaction that costs 1 superiority dice. When a creature hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to decrease the damage by rolling the superiority dice and adding your dex modifier. Student of War gives you proficiency in another artisan tool and the skill Intimidation. For the artisan tool, have fun and take what you want. Level 4 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Keep Improving Dex. You now have 3 uses of Second Wind and up to 4 weapon masteries per long rest. Level 5 fighters receive extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Tactical Shift allows you to move half your speed when you use Second Wind, and this movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus up to +4. Level 6 fighters now earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex. Level 7 Battlemaster fighters learn Know Your Enemy. As a bonus action, you choose a creature within 30 feet, and now you will know any immunity, resistance, or vulnerability they have. You can do this once per long rest or by spending a superiority dice. You now have 5 superiority dice. For your new maneuvers, Repose is a reaction that costs 1 superiority dice. When a creature attacks with a melee weapon and misses you, you can attack them, adding the superiority dice to the damage if you hit. Lunging attack costs 1 superiority dice and turns dash into a bonus action. If you move at least 5 feet in a straight line and make a melee attack, you can add the superiority dice to the damage. Your character level 11, True Strike now deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Wisdom and wipe out that negative. Level 9 fighters gain Indomitable. You can now re-roll 1 failed saving throw per long rest. Tactical Master allows you to switch weapon mastery properties when you hit with an attack. For the mastery properties, you can switch this out for Slow decreases the speed of a creature you hit by 10 feet. Push moves a creature you hit back by 10 feet. Sap gives a creature you hit disadvantage on their next attack before the start of your next turn. Your character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus up to +5. Level 10 Battlemaster fighters receive improved combat superiority. Your superiority dice are now D10s. For your new maneuvers, Feinting Attack allows you to trick a combatant in battle with a bonus action. Costing 1 superiority dice, you choose a creature within 5 feet of you, and now you have advantage on your next attack roll, adding the superiority dice if you hit. Menacing Attack costs 1 superiority dice when you hit a creature with an attack. Adding the superiority dice to the damage, you then force a wisdom save. This save is based off your dex. If they fail, they are now frightened of you until the end of your next turn. You now have 4 uses of Second Wind and 5 weapon masteries per long rest. Level 11 fighters now have 2 extra attacks. You can now attack 3 times with a single attack action. Level 12 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Charisma. Level 13 fighters now have 2 uses of Indomitable. Studied Attack gives you advantage on your next attack when you miss with an attack before the end of your current turn. You've hit the final milestone, character level 17. Max out your proficiency bonus at +6. True Strike now does an extra 3d6 radiant damage. Level 14 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma. Level 15 Battlemaster fighters are relentless. When you go to spend a superiority dice, you can instead roll 1d8 and save the superiority dice. You can do this once per turn. You now have 6 superiority dice. For your final maneuvers, Commanding Presence cost 1 superiority dice, and now you can add the superiority dice to an Intimidation, Persuasion, or Performance check. Precision Attack costs 1 superiority dice and allows you to add the superiority dice to a missed attack, potentially turning a miss into a hit. Our final level is level 16 fighters, and you earn our final ability score improvement, and you now have access to epic boon feats. For your epic boon, Boon of Irresistible Offense adds +1 to dex and then improves your attacks. You can ignore resistances to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage. Also, when you score a 20 on an attack roll, you add your dex score to the attack's damage, which is 21. To end all this out, you now have 6 weapon masteries. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 21, Con 12, Intelligence 14, Wisdom 10, Charisma 20. Your total class levels are Wizard 4, Fighter 6. Let's dive in. Your blades are amazing. You can attack 3 times normal, 6 times with an action surge, and another attack when wielding 2 weapons. Your attacks can be magical. You can add d10s to the attacks. You can add d10s to the damage. Critical hits deal an extra 21 damage before the dice rolls. You ignore certain types of damage resistances, and basically you will always have advantage. Your AC is 18. You can bring that up to 23. You can also add a d10 to your AC, and attacks against you are at disadvantage. Finally, to round it all out, your initiative rolls are plus 11, plus 1d8, plus 1d10. Your speed is 40 feet, your skills are at advantage, several add d10s to them, you can jump 30 feet, can re-roll failed saves, can add d10s to failed skill checks and attack rolls, and your total health taking the average is over 130 HP with the ability to heal yourself 1d10 plus 16 and grant yourself temporary HP. Downside. Major downside is your lack of range. You're an up-close fighter who prefers to have other people fire guns for you. That being said, because of your training, you can grab guns and you can also take some range cantrips. But remember, that's going to use your intelligence modifier for attack and damage, which isn't as good as your dex modifier. Your total health being just over 130 isn't great when compared to your fellow homunculi, who are in fact immortal, which means if you're overwhelmed, you're going to have to start burning through your healing and rerolls, which is actually lore accurate. Time to pursue Father's will and command the people of Emestris to help complete that. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Denz, and Jonathan Haynes. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.